Welcome back to the morning show here on Arise News. Thank you for staying with us. The one-month feast of football served up in Australia and New Zealand by the world's women, including the Super Falcons of Nigeria, is hours away from a rousing conclusion. As a preamble to tomorrow's Women's World Cup final match between England and Spain, host country Australia is about now taking on Sweden in the third-place classification game. Arise sports correspondent Aaron Akerejola is capably representing us down under and joins us now for a live update. Hi Aaron, it's so good to see you. I'm loving that black leather jacket. Bring us up to date. What's going on this? As you in your time since your time over in Australia.
Yes, I must actually say it is almost 7 p.m. here, 6:36 to be very precise, and as you said, down under, it has been one sound, one exhilarating, fun-filled, nail-biting, and I must tell you, well-rounded game of football played over the course of 1 month. It's almost crescendo in tomorrow, but today is the losers' finals with the Aussies, the Matildas, as they are popularly called, back at home, doing batch as we speak in Brisbane against a Swedish national team. Before we come to the Fans Festival and all that is actually happening and the people that have come out to actually cheer the Matildas on, a quick update that is just coming in has to be the fact that Sweden has actually taken the lead in the first half. I must tell you, the Fans Festival is just by my left here, and a number of people that could not travel to Brisbane to watch this particular game are all there in their numbers, celebrating and cheering the Matildas on. And I've been left in awe how women football, because the perception and the reportage in previous World Cups have been very disappointing. And I must say that this particular one has really been very impressive. It can only get better at the moment. And if they can actually help us with some of the some of those pictures from the Fan Festival, whereby people literally came out in their numbers to celebrate the Australian national team and also the Swedish national team. And I must say that at the moment, this just tells the story about women football. A lot of people have always complained that women football cannot capture the audience that the men do. But in Australia and New Zealand, they've been proven wrong time and time again. Record numbers in stadiums packed to the rafters. And more importantly, we've seen some exciting football at the highest level. Kudos to them, I must actually say. But more importantly, we spoke to 1 or 2 fans who gave their prediction before this particular game. Let's get to hear from them.
Who wins today is the hard question. Australia, this tournament so far, has been very good with learning during the games. I think they started slowly against Ireland. I think they started slowly against Nigeria. I think they played much more intelligently against Canada, played a good game against Denmark, not so good against England, but I think they've learned a lot this tournament, and they've learned a bit about how much Australia is behind them. I think they'll play very well tonight. I think that they will enjoy the experience. I would like to think they win. I hope they win. I don't know that they'll win, but I keep my fingers crossed.
All right, hoping that they will actually win there. I must actually say it's been quite a tournament, and Shaiton, I must say that I have been impressed.
All right, Aaron, that's a good one. We've been impressed too. I mean, it's been a beautiful World Cup tournament so far, and it looks like the thinking that Australia and New Zealand can actually make a bid for the male World Cup in the future. It looks like with what they have done this time around, nobody will question why they would think that they might be able to host the male World Cup at a later date. But more specifically about tomorrow's match, who are you betting on? England or Spain? I want to hazard the guess that many Nigerians will probably be supporting the Spanish team for obvious reasons. And by the way, will that lady, what's her name again? The one that got a red card, will she be playing tomorrow? Lauren James.
Yes, okay. Lauren James.
Yeah.
Of course, Lauren James will be a huge addition to the Lionesses setup because of her industry and what she brings to the particular game. Before that moment of madness against the Super Falcons of Nigeria, Lauren James, in their previous game against China, who they walloped 6 goals to 1, was their best player. So they were expecting Lauren James to grow in leaps and bounds in this tournament. But that moment of madness almost ended her World Cup. But the fact that the Lionesses are in the finals has given Lauren James a new lease to life, and she has an opportunity to atone for the errors. We've seen people in time past do this. Remember Zinedine Zidane back in the day with his own issues, and also not forgetting things playing out when a player decides in the tournament, especially English players, because it has happened to David Beckham, it has happened to Wayne Rooney in time past. They always just lose their cool. But this is an opportunity. Beckham didn't get the opportunity. Rooney didn't get the opportunity to atone. Lauren James does have the opportunity, and we're hoping she has a game of games. But like you said, every Nigerian will be hoping that the Lahoras, talking about the Spanish national team, wins this particular one, because the truth is this: we're still feeling pained because the semifinals of this particular tournament was played by 2 teams who could not beat the Super Falcons of Nigeria. And that says a lot about the pedigree of the team. And it's unfortunate we didn't make it that far. I'm hoping the Lahore wins, but looking at things on paper, it might just be the Lionesses winning it for the first time. Even the Lahores have never won the World Cup, so we'll be having a new champion come tomorrow in Sydney here.
I mean, England and Spain have met 11 times in women's football internationals prior to this women's World Cup final. And the Lionesses, of course, will be enthused by knowledge that they hold that advantage with about 6 victories, the last just coming a year ago. Do you think this in itself is adding to the tension on ground? Can you explain what it feels like just being there, knowing that we're already at the end, with the semi-finals, Aaron?
Now, this is where the rubber meets the road. Usually, you do not get second takes in auditions like this. This is the biggest stage. The Lionesses, or let's put it in context, England in general, have been hoping and gunning to have that holy grail come in, whether it's for the male or the female team. The English national team will be hoping that they can actually build on the Euros they won last year and actually bring it home. They always say football is coming home in England, but it's never been home. Talking about the World Cup. But maybe this time around we would have England rise to the occasion. But the Spanish national team are a very delicate side because most of the players ply their trade with Barcelona Femini, and they've brought that industry, that tactical ilk into the game with the hope of trying to do the tiki-taka and bulldoze teams. It's worked in this tournament for sometimes, it's been lame the other times, but both teams know their destinies are in their hands, and they will need to have a game of games to be remembered, because the big wigs have been long forgotten. The US national team, France, Canada, and some of all those teams were expected to win this particular tournament. This is a fresh opportunity. They might never get this. Some of the players are young and they might have another World Cup, but who knows? Football is a very, very tricky situation usually, and who knows if they can ever get to another finals. So they need to take the opportunity.
Well, thank you so much, Aaron Akerijola, sports correspondent on ground there in Australia. You've been doing amazing work.